Welcome to Inside Roswell. I'm Mary Robichaud, Mayor of Roswell, Georgia. Today I'm joined by Councilmember Christine Hall, and we'll be talking about elected leadership, decision-making, and serving our community from the dais. Councilmember Hall, welcome to Inside Roswell.
Thank you, Mayor Robichaud. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
And thank you for being here. So let's start by helping our residents better understand the role of a city council member in Roswell. So for those residents who may not fully understand, what does a city council member actually do? I'm still trying to figure out what the mayor does, but so what does your role look like beyond Monday night meetings?
So the Monday night meetings are just the finishing or culminating event of so much that happens behind the scenes. So what we do as city council is basically carry out the vision of the residents. So that vision is quality of life, public safety, housing, zoning, anything that affects your life in your city. Basically, the policies that drive those things are what we do in behind the scenes.
So do you find, people think that we can change everything, but they have to understand, we can change the laws specific to the city. There are state laws that govern what we can and can't do, and federal. So that's also, how do you find that, helping people understand that concept?
And that's really a very timely topic as it comes to some of the things coming before us right now from the residents, and concerns are the use of e-bikes and riders and ages of riders of e-bikes, and where those vehicles can be operated, and what constitutes a motorized bike versus a pedal assist bike. Some of those laws are governed by the state. We would have to rely on the state laws, and we as a local municipality cannot override certain state laws. There are things that we can address, and we as a city are looking into those currently as we speak.
I find that so, a lot of people don't understand that, but what first inspired you to run for office? And was this something you always envisioned yourself doing?
And honestly, I don't know your story, Mayor.
I didn't run for office till I was 62 years old. As my husband says, this was never on my bingo card to do in my life, but it happens.
In a similar way, I've been very active in a lot of organizations throughout my life. I've been active in the church. I've been active in Scouting and Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. My daughter is a Silver Award Girl Scout.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my son is an Eagle Scout. I was also very active in the local PTAs, both at the local level and the state level. Always felt it important to give back to the community. Mm-hmm. And I never envisioned myself in a political role.
Right.
And I don't consider myself a politician. And I know a lot of people say that. And probably people that know me believe that because I wear my heart on my sleeve. Mm-hmm. I got involved because I saw that Roswell was being left behind. And there were things that I felt that an active person with my background could contribute to help move the city forward. And that was the reason for getting involved, basically protecting our neighborhoods, protecting our quality of life while advancing the commercial base that we need. And that was where I felt I could really bring some value.
I think people don't understand all the responsibilities that city council members have, but what responsibility do you take most seriously as a council member?
And I don't know that I can say one thing is most. I take it
all.
all.
Top three.
Okay,
top 4 or 5.
I take my job very seriously, and being a good financial steward of the residents of Roswell is one of the top items. And there are several things that drive that. You look at expenses. You look at revenue sources. You look at balance of your commercial assets. Mm-hmm. You look at public safety, and all those things are basically, it all comes down to dollars and cents in the end. So being a good financial steward to provide the quality of life that our residents are here for.
Right. So, how would you describe your leadership style when you're sitting up there at the dais?
I,
I'm
I
from Louisiana. I say things different.
at the dais, I I'd like to basically take it all in. I'd like to he listen, but also hear what the residents have to say. Take that, process that, digest that with what staff has to say. I also like to, of course, I mean, we're here to, I'm just one of six,
Yeah.
one of seven with the mayor. So it's very important to be able to have open dialogue and have discussions with my council colleagues and understand their perspectives. What's really, really valuable is being able to look at things from different perspectives because we may uh, be predisposed to have a certain thought, but once you open yourself up to looking at the other approaches,
Right.
you might come up with a different conclusion. And the bottom line is always elevating yourself up high enough to look at what the end goal is that the residents put you in office for.
I like the debate, the discussion, different opinions, and there's always going to be tough votes. Having served prior in a different role, there's tough votes you have to take. How do you approach making those kinds of decisions that you kind of know when you're taking them, you're not going to be able to please everybody?
Again, and this is part of what an effective staff can help do by providing valid data, valid support, valid information. And it's not just about numbers, it's also subjective. So there's objective data and subjective data. It's basically balancing and looking at those items. Um, you of course want to listen to your constituents. You want to hear your residents and listen to what they have to say. And then you take that and perhaps you can mitigate some of their concerns from the ultimate decision that is going to be made or the decision that you're going to make. And that way you try and create a win-win situation.
Right.
My attitude is a glass half full, and that's my approach to
Yeah.
life.
So, what strengths do you believe women, remember, we're five women now on the dais. What strengths do you believe women bring to policymaking and community leadership that might be a little bit different than our male counterparts?
I've been blessed in my early career and also in my personal life. My mother has been a strong role model for me, an immigrant who has really achieved some um, very high levels, in this
Mhm.
country based on very humble beginnings through hard work and smart work. And so that role model, along with women in leadership in the 80s and 90s, when it wasn't probably as common to have women as CEOs of organizations, being attentive and really hearing and listening to what you need to hear and being able to form consensus. So those are the things that I think women, but any good leader should
Mhm.
be able to do.
Specifically, when young women, or any young person, but young women in Roswell see you serving on council, what do you hope they can take away from that?
I hope that they take away that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And if it's something that you're passionate about, do it, go for it. You're the only person that's holding yourself back. They can engage at any level of the government. Municipal government is really a great place to start because you learn a lot,
Mhm.
and perhaps you can move on to higher offices if you so choose. But just get involved.
So along those same lines, any additional advice you would give to women who are considering stepping, into public office or even civic leadership, as you said? I think every one of us is different how we got to where we are right now. Any advice you'd give women who might be considering stepping in?
So I would say definitely get involved. I mean, here at the City of Roswell, we have opportunities on boards and commissions. So those are all volunteer positions, and it's an opportunity to get involved with your city. If perhaps that isn't a commitment that you're ready for, or just not the right phase of your life for that, get involved with your local PTAs or PTOs, missions through your faith-based organization. So just be involved and be informed. We are in the age of social media, and as we know, it's a lot easier to maybe just pick up things from social media, but a lot of that is not factual and accurate. So become informed, become engaged, and learn for yourself, and that way you can make the best, most intentional decision.
See, and I agree with you. I think that person-to-person connection is still so important, especially when you see it helps you understand your decisions can affect so many people that you may never meet, but when you do meet one or two of those that your decisions has affected, it can make a real big difference. Okay?
And one thing, and you probably share this as well, we are very accessible, and sometimes people don't realize how accessible we are. And I know you've reached out to me, and I answer my phone on the
Right,
first ring.
Well, not only that, what I'm finding, and this is fine too, now when I go to the grocery store, people want to just walk with me and talk, and I'm sure you've had that for years too. It's like, sure, come on, I got to shop, but let's go.
And people should not feel bad about that, because I thoroughly enjoy that, and I am so delighted when residents reach out, whether they're registering a concern,
Right.
or offering that ideas on how certain things can be done better. I love to take that all in.
I love that too.
Both sides, and that's what improves life for all of us.
When I'm doing that, they're like, okay, now how about we do, and we just talk, and that to me is what's great about it. So, Councilmember Hall, thank you for joining me today and for sharing your perspective. And to our listeners, thank you for spending time with us. Inside Roswell is all about transparency, trust, and helping you better understand how your city works. Be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll continue the conversation next time on Inside Roswell.